Welcome to another 10 at 10. We are continuing our study from Psalms 23, and we're going to be focusing on the next phrase in Psalms 23. Last time we talked about the Lord is my shepherd, I do not want for anything. Today we're going to be talking about verse 2, which says, He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside quiet waters. And we just want to look at this. We want to look at the truth that God provides rhythms of rest for our lives. God provides balance in our lives. And you even think about the example of creation. When you go to Genesis chapter 1, it goes through all the different things that God created. And God accomplished so much in 6 days, where He created the sky, He created the land, He divided the waters from the land, He created the animal and the species and the trees with seed in it, and just all these different things. The seas were teeming with the different creatures in the oceans. And so you just look at all the things God accomplished. But instead of saying God created the earth in 6 days and just stopping with that, it said, and on the seventh day, He rested. And this provides a truth for us as believers, that God doesn't want us to just be endlessly working, endlessly moving, because really there's a truth that when we slow down, we have opportunity to be refreshed. We have opportunity to be refreshed in our bodies, refreshed in our mind and in our emotions, and to just get settled in our thought processes. We have the ability to get refreshed in our spirits by spending time with the Lord and in His presence, and listening to worship music, being in the Word, and even listening to godly podcasts that strengthen and build up our faith. There is a rhythm that God has set up for us to follow. And I believe also God's showing us the rhythm that in the beginning it says, the Lord is my shepherd, I do not want for anything. God is our supplier. God is our source. God is the one that sees ahead to know every need that we're going to have in our lives. And so it's just trusting Him that we can stop for those resting times. And then we can pick it back up, get the work done that we're needing to get done, fulfill our responsibilities like He's called us to, because the Word does say if you don't work, you don't eat. So we can't rest endlessly. But there's rhythms. There's rhythms of working, and then there's rhythms of resting. And so we want to just look at a truth that's found in Hebrews chapter 4, and this is verse 3. And again, we're talking about this truth of rest. And it says, now we who have believed enter that rest. And then later on in the chapter, in verses 9 and 10, it says, there remains then a Sabbath rest for the people of God. For anyone who enters God's rest also rests from their works, just as God did from His. And this is such a liberating thing, but to be honest, sometimes it does take effort to walk in this. You see, God's given you, God's made you to trust in Him. God's made us to rely on Him as our shepherd. And as the Word says, that when we believe and we trust Him for what He speaks to our heart or what He's written in His Word, what happens is when we trust in the Lord and we cast our cares upon Him, we enter into a rest. And it's actually a supernatural resting place, because it actually denotes that in the middle of things happening, in the middle of, again, life's responsibility or maybe turmoil going on, we can actually labor to enter that resting place, knowing that we can trust in God, knowing that He's our shepherd, that we're not going to want for anything, knowing that He knows how to direct and order our steps. And so my encouragement to you is slow down. Get God's direction, do your part, and then rest and let Him do His. You know, the word says that God never slumbers and he never sleeps, but God has made us to restore and refresh our physical bodies, our minds, our emotions, and our spirits. And so I encourage you, find those places, follow those rhythms that God leads you in, where you have those green pastures where you can lie down in, and you can refresh yourself beside those quiet waters. Be still and know that he is God in your life. God bless you. Have a wonderful day, and we look forward to seeing you at our next teaching time.